Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? Well, there comes a time where you just have to say, I quit. Yeah, winter is upon us. It is really beaten down. I know right now it's beautiful and sunny. It's going to be 58 degrees today, I think. But the overnight temperatures are getting down below freezing, and I just cannot do winter projects. I got that concrete mixer finally, but you guys know you can't do concrete when it's going to freeze overnight. It's just a bad idea. And I got to start with some apologies. First of all, we've had a rough go of it. Actually, over the past month, it's been kind of chaotic, and this past week was just, we got sick. I took my daughter to just a wellness visit at the doctor and probably caught something there, and I got a stomach virus, and she, goes to school. Kids bring home all kinds of illnesses too. She got a stomach virus, and we were just down and out. So I'm trying to churn out videos, and those product reviews are kind of the easiest thing to do. And I'm sorry, this channel is not a product review. There's gonna be product reviews. I mean, it's a benefit to me, and I wanna show you guys stuff that I'm interested in and I think you're gonna be interested in, but I don't wanna do them all the time, and I gotta try and change the way I do them too. Maybe work them into, if I'm working on a project, this is something that I'm using, and introduce you to it. But that's all going to change, okay? We're going to be doing more stuff. And I'm going to start with these things. Now, I had some great suggestions from you guys that I could do some different, screw them to a pallet, cut a bit like a 45, and use them for holding stuff. But I want to use those IBC totes, the cages, first, before I use these bladders. And I'm not 100% sure how well they're going to work if I did do that. So usually the best thing to do if you don't know what you're going to do is to just do nothing. And if I'm going to do nothing, I've got to do something with them. I've got to put them somewhere. So I think I'm going to just store them in the corner of this barn where they won't be an eyesore. But of course the corner of the barn is cluttered, so let's start here. Or let's start over here. I've just got too much stuff in the wrong place. Oh. Yeah, close your eyes, don't even look over here. This is not the way I do things. This is not the way I roll. There's just too much just laying around everywhere. I got tools. We'll keep working in here. Let's get some stuff out of the way. Alrighty, things are looking good in here. Everything's out of the way and I've got plenty of room. This is way better. Let me show you what that did for me out in the wood yard. So because my wood yard now is completely cleared out, I can set up out here, and anybody who's been with me at all knows about this system. This right here is kind of my poor man's firewood processor. This is my free live deck. It's made from pallets and just repurposed wood. These 6x6s hold the logs, and they roll down to my bucking station down here, which is fantastic. It's really a game changer. If you're looking to build a bucking station, I'll leave a link up here. And you can click on what my build was, but I got my build and my idea from Sawing with Sandy, so you can check his channel out and you can get the same kind of thing. So anyway, logs roll down here, I buck them up over here, and then the rounds will go down here. I got look at the birds. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow, anyway, so we'll have the rounds over here, and then I'll bring them over and just start splitting them up. And now that I'm using IBC totes, the IBC totes will be right over here with the tractor, and then I can take them out in the field. Now, because I'm using IBC totes, I've got some of them that I cut differently, and they're not ideal the way I want them to be. So I want to see if I can fix one. Let's go up to the garage. Well, that's a camera. All right, we're in the garage. It is ridiculously windy out there. In these farm areas, there's no protection from the wind, and it's just nuts. So I'm actually glad to be working in the garage today. All right, so the only thing that gives me any confidence, and I am by no means qualified to teach anybody how to weld, the only thing that gives me confidence is I was able to successfully weld 2 pieces of 1/2-inch electrical conduit together once, and you know, it's really thin metal. So this is kind of similar. It's very thin metal. Now this piece, okay, the way this was done, let's just, I cut a U shape out of the front because I wanted to stack into it. You know, you've seen the way that's done. Well, when you cut a U shape, it cuts that top bar, and I want to put a bar up here to hold it because it's flimsy. You know, it'll give it some stability. So this bar came from like down lower, okay? I salvaged it from one of the other ones I was using. So I'm just going to take that piece and attempt to weld it in place on the top. Okay, got some magnets on it to hold. I left a tiny little space there so weld can get inside. Hopefully that makes it a little stronger. Well, I'll tell you right now, those are some ugly welds, and it did burn through. It was really hard. It was hard to get the voltage just right. I don't think I got it just right at all. I just managed to just fudge it enough to get it to work, and it's on there. So, I mean, I'll let that cool before I go loading it with any wood, but I did it. So if you screw up one of these IBC cages, it's plausible that you can go and weld it back together. Now, if I had to weld the entire front back onto this, forget it. That would just be, that'd be such a headache. But successfully welded a piece on so that I can now load it, and the sides are sturdy. So that's a win. Let's go do some firewood. Oh yeah, this is a good system. I really, really like this setup. Works well for me. It's on concrete, easy to clean up, buck up the rounds, split the rounds, and of course, if I get bad weather, I can just take it inside the barn and do it in there. And bad weather, yeah, it's coming. I mean, you know, when I say winter's beating on my doorstep, I just think ahead. I just know that if I've got outdoor projects, they got to be done. I've got to be done with outdoor. I just have to be done with it. Move on to splitting firewood, getting firewood in the fields and drying for next year. Yeah, so this is good. I have one really big project is lined up for this winter. I'll probably be starting it in January, but for now, yeah, we're going to keep going here. And I'll tell you what, I am so thrilled that I found a way to be able to use these totes with my Kubota BX and be able to manage them and lift them out and put them out in the field, you know. And this weld, it's holding. Yep. I think that's the main point of this video, is to be able to weld these back together. If you've cut them and you change your mind, you know, I wouldn't throw away the fronts. If you cut the fronts off, you could weld them back together. I'm no welder. I am definitely no welder. And if I can do it, I think just about anybody can. And if you've never welded before, don't be afraid. You know, don't go posting pictures of your welds on Facebook. But if you get two pieces of metal to stick together and they stay, that's a good weld in my opinion. So anyway, I hope you learned something from this. I know I did. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you next time when I'm doing more stuff.